what's up, guys? So it actually just occurred to me that I actually have not covered Yuki since her release. And you know, the reason that I didn't do this initially is because I knew literally every single content creator was going to be talking about this unit when she came out. Literally every single one. And they were all going to put out thoughts before actually really testing her, before actually, you know, getting to mess around with her, before actually getting good builds, and not taking certain things into account, overlooking a lot of things. And you know, looking at reviews for a unit, like should you pull, should you not pull, and doing this like within, you know, a couple hours of the unit's release, typically you're not going to get the best quality of content. Not 100% of the time, but you know, a good 70-80% of the time. Like a lot of the content is going to be missing some well-needed context around the unit. To be honest, I don't think Yuki is that bad, personally. I've played with her a bit. There's some things you have to consider. This is on my free-to-play alt account. I have her with one dupe, and I pulled to pity, so to get that dupe, because I wasn't interested in getting to 0 on this account. I'm going to get to 0 on my main account. So that's one of the benefits of me playing 2 accounts, is I can more so go for one unit. I can kind of like alternate which account I grab which unit on. So Yuki, I saw it wasn't that strong at release, and a lot of people weren't very happy with her, so I elected to just not pull for her on my main account, and I was going to wait till the Chizuru. And I'm probably still going to do that. I'm still going to get Yuki on my main account eventually through a failed pity or, you know, combatant summons or whatever. I expect to still get her, but I was already able to play with her on this account to where I didn't feel like I had to pull her on my main account too. So I think Yuki's a good unit. There's one thing people got to consider. This is the first unit to come out with a season, and the season is very much catered around Yuki herself, and I kind of see this going forward. So it's entirely possible that maybe these next 2 units also revolve around draw. Consider that, because why wouldn't they? There's this entire season, it's got 3 unit releases in it. They're probably gonna revolve around kind of the same mechanic of inspiration. And if you think about it, there's a good chance that Chizuru coming out could have great synergy with Yuki in terms of inspiration. So Yuki's potential is still not fully known yet. We already know she's great with Veronica. She's fantastic to use with Veronica. But we don't have access to the other 2 units that are coming out. And it's a very good chance that they're going to perform really well with her as well. Like maybe Chizuru is a single target that Yuki lacks, but they both synergize really well with the inspiration mechanic. And they can proc it a lot. And they're not going to be able to play off each other and play really well with each other. That's something I haven't heard anybody talk about in a single review. Granted, I haven't watched very many of them about Yuki, but I haven't heard of another content creator even talking about the possibility that like maybe this unit is going to be better with the next ones that come out in the same season. Because the season's catered around draw. The gears around draw. The fates have draw. And it's entirely possible, you know, moving forward, like this is what the seasons are going to be like. Maybe the units are going to be a lot alike that get released. So that's to be determined. We get Chizuru here in a couple days. A first look at the couple days. I will, of course, be doing initial thoughts as soon as that drops. For my initial thoughts on Yuki, I think when you get a good save on her and you have the right setup, I think she is a very strong unit. Granted, it's kind of hard to showcase that because she just looks absurdly busted when you go into Basin right now. So if I go to Basin and show you what my Yuki is capable of, she looks fucking crazy, right? She looks, but you get 50% damage buff in here. And then in Chaos, if you get Brainwash, if you get some of those draw fates that scale, you know, your damage really well, then she looks crazy in there too. And people look at her without those things, and she kind of seemed to be performing like a little subpar, right? But I think overall, Yuki is a pretty strong unit when it comes to doing what she wants to do. And if you can't do what you want to do, there is some options in your Chaos that you can take to allow her to do what she wants to do. And she starts cranking that. And I'll be able to show you some of that here in a second. My opening hand was really bad. But as you can see, well, I can't even duplicate this now. I could probably cycle my whole deck though. So let's see if we can cycle the deck. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Vulnerable up. Do this. Yep, cycled the deck. Okay, now, boom. Now let's copy. Prepare to subdue. But that's not the one with AP on it though. That's fine. Copy. Boom. Boom. And I have all of my AoE cards in the deck. Right? So we already have vulnerable up. Hit that with iceberg cleave. Look at the damage. Look at that. When you have the proper setup with this unit, she does insane damage. But how do we know if, like, maybe they just balanced her around having, you know, this buff? What if they bounced her around, like, all of the extra stuff from the chaos itself, and then when you look at her without that stuff, she just might not seem that good. Right? That's just one way you gotta look at it. I think she's a damn good unit, actually. Do I think she's... I don't even want to go into tiers. Do I think she'll demolish bosses like Meilin? No. But honestly, like, Meilin can only do that Giga Kick on one target, right? With the right deck, you can set it up pretty frequently, but with the right Yuki deck, like in a scenario where you're cleaving 3 things at once, she could do that pretty consistently too. You saw how easily I put all of my cards in my hand. I can leave out of here. But in this specific deck, like, I don't even have like multiple copies of certain cards. So ideally with my save here, and I've only ran a couple runs on her and I'm able to get this save. So like, if I look at my save here, like, I have 3 Prepare to Subdues, and I actually bought this twice and got the same Epiphany twice. I didn't copy it. But if I had an extra Flash Slash in here, an extra Iceberg Cleave, I think this deck would be a lot better. With 1 extra basic removed. I got no event for Mutant Sample in here, so that kind of made the deck a little bit harder to build. I might have actually got the copy at the end. I think I did, actually. That's why this one has a regular Epiphany and no AP. Because I actually did get the last dupe at the end. But I was over cap. If I was able to convert one of these and leave myself with 1 basic, and then copy like an Iceberg Cleave or Flash Slash, this would be the perfect version of this build. Assuming this had the, like, it's got Retain Retrieve on here. This is the best one. If this had Vulnerability on it as well, but and like maybe the Initiation one here, like, would help. But this is the higher damage version. But, or if it had Morale on it extra. But honestly, I get my Vulnerable from my Aggressive Mutants here, which this card's insane with her. So if you look at building Yuki from the standpoint of the stuff that you get in Chaos, she becomes a very strong unit. And I think we were just kind of distracted by the fact that her base kit did not seem very good, and she did feel weak in Chaos at the beginning as well. But I don't think that makes Yuki a bad unit, because there's a lot of things that make your runs feel bad. For example, there's some units that just feel real, like, obviously a unit that focuses around basic attacks such as Meilin is going to excel in early Chaos, right? Obviously units with really good scaling into into like upward slash like Felipe are going to feel really good in early Chaos. So that's just a hurdle she has to get through before she starts cranking. But I think Yuki is a good unit. Honestly, like, I don't think she's like, I still only think there's like 3 tiers of units in this game. And she won't crank out the single target that Tressa Hugo does or Meilin does, but that's not what she's for, right? You can build her to where she can't do that. It's going to be hard. You got to get like 2 ecstasies, right? And then be able to get some morale into the build and scale her up that way. But then again, they are talking about Yuki possibly getting buffed. and some of her lesser used epiphanies getting changed. So maybe it is possible that she will be able to do single target nukes as well. But I just wanted to talk about Yuki a little bit, since now that I've actually played her and she's been out for a minute and I've seen like the reaction around other people, is like, I don't think she's a D tier unit, F tier. And just kind of keep this in mind moving forward. If you're still on the fence of whether you want to pull for the unit or not, like, her banner should still be up for a little bit when Chizuru comes out, and maybe you might want to pull one before she goes away. And just look forward to my next video on the video I do on Chizuru before you make that determination, if you want my insight on that. But yeah, appreciate you watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Peace.
You fight as if you have 9 lives. This world has no place for